Hello everyone, welcome back to Dragonfly Engineering. So we got a little bit of a different episode this week in that I'm going to show the full self-driving features of the Cybertruck as I drive from San Jose to Los Angeles, California, which is about a 550-mile trip. And I've done this trip before, and usually there's 0 interventions that I have to do, and the truck drives itself from parking spot to parking spot, from here in San Jose to the hotel parking spot in Anaheim, California. Hope you enjoy joining me, and I'll show you some of the features of the full self-driving. I'm leaving here at about 7:30 at night, and I'll probably wind up getting a hotel halfway through the desert on Highway 5, about 250 miles south of here. And then the rest of the trip will finish in the morning. So, hope you enjoy. I hate to do it, but I'll have to make the quote. It's 7:30 at night. There's 500 miles to LA.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark.
It's dark out, and I'm wearing sunglasses.
Hit it.
Hit it. So, all right. So to program our trip to the Anaheim Convention Center in Los Angeles. Oh, let me turn off the cabin lights. Cabin lights off. All right, so we got the cabin lights off. So to go in reverse, usually the vehicle just kind of knows which direction you want to go, but you can also hit the brake light, and here it says, okay, well, we pulled into a parking spot before, so now it knows to back up. If we wanted to go forward, you slide this thing forward, and then it'll drive us into the building, but we don't want to do that, so we'll go back again, and then I'll hit the accelerator and we'll back out. The Cybertruck doesn't have option currently with this full self-driving to reverse or to finally park into a parking spot. The new version that's coming out in a few days from now, apparently it will have full reverse capability and be able to self-park. With this version of the Cybertruck's full self-driving, you actually have to get out of full self-driving and then pick a parking spot, and then it'll do it for you. But I got to get on the road, so we will cancel that, and let's tell it to drive us to the Anaheim Convention Center. Again, I'm at the shop right now, and which is in San Jose, California, and we're going to drive to Anaheim, which is a neighborhood or a city in Los Angeles greater area. So we hit the microphone, navigate to Anaheim Convention Center. Oh, actually, I think it's, the Cybertruck is assuming that I wanted to go home. So I'm going to cancel this trip to go home, and then we'll try that again. Navigate to Anaheim Convention Center. All right, it's figuring out our route, and it's saying I'm going to have to charge twice on the way. And we'll get there to the first charging location in 3 hours and 13 minutes. Which is on Highway 5, which is 200 miles away. So all we do now is we hit this right button to engage the full self-driving, and then it takes over and it will drive us to the Anaheim Convention Center, 550 miles away. Now you do have to pay attention. So there's a camera up here right above the rear view mirror, and it's constantly watching me, and if it sees that I'm not paying attention, then it will give me a warning. And it already did that once when I was fiddling with looking at the screen. So if you look at the screen for more than probably 5 seconds, it'll start to give you a warning that you need to pay attention to the road, because this is supervised full self-driving, so it actually will not allow itself to drive unless it knows that a person is sitting in the driver's seat, and it's tracking my eyes and making sure that I'm actively looking around and monitoring its or supervising its full self-driving performance. And if I see a problem, then I can instantly take over by grabbing the steering wheel or hitting the brake, or basically just start controlling the vehicle, and it will stop full self-driving and let me take over to get out of whatever situation it's in. Oh, I guess I need to turn the volume off. I actually got the The media player is off right now. It's still thinking it's on the Wi-Fi at the shop, but since this is going to go on YouTube, I can't play music anyway. Okay, so we're going to get on to Highway 101, and basically we will just drive for a while. So I'll probably do like a time lapse until the camera battery dies of me or the Cybertruck navigating us out of the San Jose greater metropolitan area. We're going to go through Gilroy, California, which is the garlic capital. And then we're going to go through a bunch of windy mountain roads to get over to Highway 5. We're going to go over a ridge to get out of Silicon Valley and into the Central Valley of California. So you can see that the full self-driving knows that the lights changed, and it saw that the lights changed, and it's reading street signs, and it's figuring out the lanes on the road. And if there's any people on the road, then it would show little icons of people, and it shows all the other cars around it as well. And it's constantly watching me. For instance, there's a bicyclist in like a separate lane over there, and it did see the bicyclist. But he's kind of behind a big brick wall or concrete wall. And this is actually new construction, so it's not really on a map yet. We'll see where that bicyclist is going. There must be a tunnel under the highway. Anyway, but the vehicle can figure out people and not hit them. It will also sometimes slow down a little bit when it sees a police car, like this one over here. Someone had a little boo-boo. But yeah, I basically use full self-driving all the time now. And my hands are not doing anything. Previous versions, it wanted you to keep your hands on the wheel, and it wanted to feel the pressure of your hand on the wheel, but this version, they stopped doing that, and my legs aren't, on the pedals or anything. But if I do see a problem, I need to take over immediately. Every now and then, usually in previous versions, the Cybertruck would tell you, oh, I'm confused, something's not right, so go ahead and take over for me. But that pretty much stopped happening like 4 or 5 months ago. And since then, I haven't had any problems at all, other than my concern of train track crossings. That is actually a thing. There's a train track crossing that's close to my house that has a parallel traffic intersection that's kind of integrated into the train crossing as well. And the Cybertruck will stop on the tracks when the traffic light is red, which is dangerous because if cars block you in, then you got nowhere to go when a train starts coming. So if it stops on the tracks and then I get blocked in by cars at a red light, then that's no bueno. So I usually have to intervene and take over and then move it off the tracks. But you also, whenever you take over or you disengage the autopilot, or not the autopilot, but the full self-driving, it'll ask you what happened, and you can give a little report. It records it with the microphone, and then it sends it off to the supercomputer wherever, and it analyzes the video and reads the report that you gave, because I'm technically a beta software tester while using this full self-driving. Anyway, so we're on 101 South, and we're gonna head to Gilroy and then head over through the mountains. We'll see how long the battery lasts. And but yeah, the full self-driving really does work. Works great, actually. Oh, one other thing. If the Cybertruck with the all-seeing eye sees that you're on your cell phone, it really doesn't like it. So the full self-driving gives you strikes if you aren't paying attention to the road and you ignore its warnings. If you do that long enough, it will actually turn on the blinkers or the caution lights and then pull over and then shut the vehicle off, or not shut it off, but kick you out of full self-driving, and then you get a strike. And if you get too many strikes, then it bans you from using the full self-driving, which is kind of funny. So if you fall asleep behind the wheel, which can happen, then it will wake you up. It'll beep at you, and if it can't wake you up, then it turns the flashers on and pulls over, and then gives you the strike, which is 2 red hands on the screen. And I've actually seen, I think it was a Facebook video where some guy had a cell phone out, and he was recording the screen with the cell phone, which the Cybertruck or all Tesla full self-driving really hates seeing a cell phone, and it knows that you have a cell phone in your hand, and it will pretty much give you a strike immediately if it sees that you're on your cell phone while in full self-driving. So yeah, and if you get too many strikes, then you're just done. They kick you out of the program. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind, is that full self-driving in a Tesla is actually safer than a regular person driving right now, because the vehicle itself is the referee, making sure that you're paying attention, and it's watching my eyes. It's making sure I don't have a cell phone in my hand, and it's definitely making sure I'm not looking at my cell phone while in full self-driving mode. So anyway, it's kind of cool, but it can be annoying, especially if you've got a long trip. And like in my case, I actually had a mold that I had to that I machined, and I had to deliver it to Los Angeles, and I had to drive through the night, and I was kind of getting annoyed that I had to stay awake, basically, because the truck was driving itself with no problem, with 0 interventions. But I had worked all day, and I left San Jose to go to LA at like midnight, and I basically rode in the truck in full self-driving through the night, and it actually caught me dozing off, and it kind of woke me up. So yeah, it's a thing. But I didn't get a strike, so it must not have been that bad. But in the future, I plan on using this vehicle to, when full self-driving is no longer requires supervision, like I don't have to be in the Cybertruck. My intention is to use it to make deliveries around town, where I'll just load the machine parts or the plastic molded parts into the Cybertruck, and I'll tell it to drive to my customer, and it'll go there, and I'll have to text my customer and say, hey, your delivery is in the vehicle out front, and I'll open the door when you're there, and then they can get their stuff, and then I'll tell the Cybertruck to drive back to the shop, and then I can just have it basically deliver stuff all over town, which, I mean, theoretically, I could have delivered this injection mold from San Jose to Los Angeles, except for the fact that I had to stop and charge one time on that trip. So anyway, interesting future for the full self-driving and just delivering your parts. All right, I think we'll just do the time lapse until the camera craps out. Well, that guy to my right doesn't have his lights on. I guess it's just his backlights are busted. Another thing is the Cybertruck will see suspicious vehicles, and it'll alert you, and it'll highlight the car that's looking shady in a red color. Usually it's because they're pulling out in front of you, or they slam on their brakes or something. But sometimes if they're just driving erratic, it'll target that car and make it red on the screen and tell you to be worried about that particular vehicle. Okay, we're coming up on Gilroy. I paused Willie Nelson on the radio so that, yeah, we're gonna get off 101, go through some kind of suburbs of Gilroy, and then start heading up into the rolling, kind of grass-covered pasture hills to get out of the Silicon Valley and into the Central Valley. They also just released an AI assistant for the for all Teslas. Deciding to make a lane change. So if I hold the microphone down for more than the usual command time, and most of the commands in this vehicle are like voice activated. For instance, I can turn on the cabin lights by clicking this microphone. Turn on cabin lights. Oh, it's thinking I'm looking for music. Oh.
All these weird gadgets, you think they'd give you a radio?
What would you like to hear?
What the hell was that?
Cabin lights on. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't understand you. Cabin lights off. I guess if you're searching a lot of music, it's thinking, oh, this guy's still looking for music. Anyway. But if you hold the microphone for longer, then the AI assistant will pop up. The Grok from XAI, one of Musk's companies. So I'll hold it down. And now the AI assistant is there. Hello.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, great. I was given a demo about the Cybertruck for YouTube.
That's awesome. How'd it go? Impressed with the Cybertruck?
Yeah. Actually, we're getting off the highway right now.
Where to next?
Do you wish further information on Silicon Valley?
Hell no, I want to know who you are and how you're listening in.
Los Angeles.
Gotcha. Traffic's probably light this late. Want any route tips or stops along the way?
No, we're using the full self-driving.
Cool. Hope it handles the drive smoothly down there. Let me know if you need anything else, like a quick trivia on LA spots or whatever. Assistant.
No, I'm good.
All right. Enjoy the ride.
Oh, actually, I had a question for you. What is the G-force on a person who accelerates from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds?
About 2.5 Gs. That's what you'd feel.
Huh. And that's 0 to 60 miles per hour?
Yep. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. Roughly 2.5 times gravity's pull.
Wow. And what's the acceleration of the Cyber Beast?
The Cyber Beast hits 0 to 60 in about 2.6 seconds. Real tests say even 2.5 if you're lucky with tires.
So that means that I would feel 2.5 Gs of force if I fully accelerate the Cybertruck?
Almost. It's actually around 1.8 to 2 Gs for the Cybertruck's top model, depending on conditions. The Cyber Beast pushes closer to that 2.5 you mentioned. Feels wild, right?
Yeah, it has. Did Tesla reduce or make it launch mode for the Cyber Beast where it used to just be full acceleration on demand?
Yeah, from what folks are saying online, Tesla tweaked launch mode on the Cyber Beast. Now it's not instant full throttle like before. You gotta trigger it properly. Almost like they dialed it back for tire safety or battery health. Makes the kick hit around 3 seconds flat instead of raw 2.5, but still insane. Want the exact steps to activate?
No, I saw it on the screen. All right, thank you.
Anytime.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, so now we're getting out in the farm country and we're gonna go over that ridge, which you may be able to see on the camera since the lighting, or the camera sensor is better than humans at low light. No, not really, you can't see it. So looking back at the camera, I can only look away from the road for about 3 or 4 seconds before it starts to complain. Yeah, we're about to do some windy roads and farmland. So we'll probably do another time lapse. So the truck figured out a shortcut. We actually went through like a side road, and this is the actual main Highway 152 that connects 101 to Highway 5. So that's kind of cool. The vehicle knows all traffic conditions everywhere, and it's constantly calculating the most efficient route based on every other Tesla's data on how fast it's moving and where it's located. So it actually teaches you a lot of little shortcuts that you'd never realize everywhere on Earth, basically. And the truck knows to switch its high beams off if it sees a vehicle ahead. That's another thing with an electric vehicle, especially a Tesla, is when I get to my destination, I just open the door and I walk out, and it'll put itself in park, it'll turn itself off, and it'll lock the doors and roll up the windows. So I never actually do anything. As soon as I get to my destination, I literally open the door and just walk away and don't even think about it. But that can become a problem when I go back to my Volkswagen thing or the Dodge gas-powered van. I'm so conditioned driving this electric smart vehicle that when I drive a gas vehicle, I'll just like not even put it in park. I'll just open the door and try to walk out. And then I realize that I'm still in drive. So where the Cybertruck knows that I'm getting out, and it stops, because the Cybertruck is like a golf cart accelerator. You push down on the accelerator if you're actually driving. And then when you take your foot off the single pedal, then it brakes and regen brakes. There's also a brake pedal if you don't get your golf cart pedaling just right. You can hit the brake and it'll actually hit physical brakes as well. But yeah, so when you get to your destination, your foot's off the accelerator anyway, so you're not rolling. So then you just get out and walk away, and it'll realize that you've left, because your cell phone is your key, and your cell phone is more than a few feet away. So the vehicle's like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep and park and close the doors and lock the windows, or lock the doors and close the windows. And but when I drive a gas car, I have to remember to actually turn the engine off, put it in park for one thing, turn the engine off, open the door, and then lock the door when I walk away. I don't have to do any of that with the Cybertruck. It just knows that I'm getting out, and it takes care of everything. Alright, we're getting on to Highway 5 South. We're going to be on this for 400 miles, but we're going to charge at 11 o'clock in 1 hour and 51 minutes. And we'll have 10% battery left when it's time to charge up for the next leg. I may sleep there or get a hotel there. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. There's going to be a whole lot of this ahead of us. Not much to see. All right, so we're about 5 miles away from the first charging station, and the Cybertruck said it started to precondition the battery for fast charging. So about 10 miles out, it knows it's going to a charger, so it'll start to get the battery all set up. I think it's mostly just the temperature profile of the battery, but I don't know particularly. They may actually do charge biasing or something. But in about 7 minutes or so, we are going to wind up in a charging station. We're we wound up going to Kettleman, which is some town in the middle of nowhere along Highway 5. And originally the truck was going to go to the next charging station, but the estimated charge at the destination started to get too low, so it automatically rerouted to an earlier charge station, which is the one that I usually stop at when I'm going to LA. And there's actually 2 big chargers in that town, which is pretty much just a stagecoach town for the highway. And one of them is like some sort of techno Euro club looking lounge area. And then the other one is just a big concrete parking lot full of chargers. So we'll have to see which one it takes us to. It'd be cool if it was the techno lounge. So we'll find out here in a minute. This car to the left was starting to swerve and stuff. I think the guy's getting a little drowsy. But when the Cybertruck drives, it doesn't get drowsy. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's got cameras all the way around it, and it's using its cameras to figure out the world and drive through it. One of the main cameras is up here behind this housing, behind the rear view mirror, which is looking forward, and then the other camera that's making sure that I'm paying attention is looking back at us. All right, we're 5 minutes out. Oh, another thing is the Cybertruck does speed, or the full self-driving. The speed limit here is 70 miles an hour, and we're going 77 miles an hour. And I think the AI brain basically knows what the average speed of everyone who drives on this road is, and it makes a judgment call for safety to drive the same speed that everyone else does instead of the speed limit. But it does do like NHTSA stops. So at a stop sign, it actually has to fully stop, which drives human drivers a little crazy, because it's pretty much almost nobody fully stops at stop signs except for robot cars. All right, so we are coming up on our charging station. Pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I guess it's bad timing that I filmed this at night. Maybe on the return trip that'll be in the daytime, so I can sprinkle in some daytime video. I may sleep here too. It's hard to say. I'm not planning on going through the night to LA. So part 2 may be the daytime run. It'd be nice if they had Waffle Houses in California. I can show you a little bit of the procedure to charge, but basically the truck will just roll right up to the row. Now the Cybertruck doesn't auto park yet, but it will, I think, next week when it downloads the latest software. And so I have to disengage full self-driving when it gets into the parking lot, and then engage parking. And then it'll park in its charging station, and then I have to get out and actually physically plug in the vehicle. But the credit card is stored in my account with this vehicle, so you don't have to swipe your card or anything. They just talk, and you charge until you're done, and then you pull out the plug and you go. And that's it. There's no receipts, there's no nothing. You still pay for it though. It's about 40 cents per kilowatt, as I recall. Oh, I think we're going to the Euro nightclub waiting room area here. There's probably plenty of stalls open. All right, 150 kilowatts, 250 kilowatts. Oh, it's... All right, so now I've got to disengage and find a nice fast charger. 250 kilowatts. Are these 250? No, those are 150. All right, I'm gonna pull into this one. Maybe we can get faster charge time. Oh, and it shows like a bird's eye view, and it tells you if you're getting too close to something. Okay. All right, I will probably switch to the cell phone and show you how to charge. All right, I'm gonna do the auto parking. So we're at the Tesla charger. Just pull this handle out. Oh, it doesn't reach. I'm gonna have to back in. That's a bummer. Oh, it wants me to fasten my seatbelt before it drives the 10 feet into the parking spot. So we'll hit start, and then it'll figure out the geometries, make sure it doesn't run into anything, and back into our charging station. I do have my foot on the brake here because I don't want to be responsible for a busted supercharger. Okay, but I think I need to pull forward slightly so I can reach my charger port. So I guess the Bluetooth doesn't work on my cell phone to open the port, the charge port, when you hit the button when you're recording with your cell phone. Anyway, so then you just plug it in and it'll turn blue and your credit card's being checked, and then it should turn green here in a minute, and that means you're charging. Then we come inside, and this is telling us what our charging status is. So it'll ramp up the juice. So right now it's putting 62 kilowatts power in, which equates to 170 or 180 miles per hour. So every hour we're sitting here, we're getting, well, now 220. So yeah, you can hear that thing revving up. It's gonna charge pretty quick. At 250 kilowatts. We got 11 minutes remaining to continue trip. And it's charging 454 miles per hour. So we're getting up to 205 kilowatts. Now it's, when they say continue the trip, I guess, yeah, they're just saying in 10 minutes we can get to LA. But I'm probably going to charge it more than that. And you can see the amount of the cost per kilowatt. And so far I've spent $1.73, or well, almost $2 so far. And the 65 miles is the amount of miles that we currently have. And yep, so 212 kilowatts, which is pretty good. I mean, that's like a whole house worth of power going into this vehicle. So we'll see, you know, how much this is going to cost us. congestion fee. No, 50 cents per minute. Starting at 80% charge level or once charging is complete. Oh. Oh, okay, but I got charge limit at 100. So basically they're going to charge you if you just sit here and go away and don't unplug when you're done charging. But supposedly we only got 9 minutes left. Maybe we'll check out the lounge. I may have to stop recording because I think there's like a door lock code that you have to find on the Tesla app. But let's see what we got. And my key is this phone. So all I got to do is just close the door and walk away and it will lock. That sound was the Cybertruck locking itself. Not much people here tonight. Yeah, this is the steps, so I'm gonna have to stop recording to get into the lounge. I might get a coffee too. All right, this is the waiting room. A little quad. Oh, pretty good. You can buy refreshments and food and everything. I might get a frappuccino. Oh, this is it. We got another 5 or 6 minutes to wait. It says we got 1 minute left to charge to get to our destination, but 1 hour to hit our charge, or our full charge. Because when you charge these electric vehicles, the charge rate rolls off as you get closer and closer to full. So the last like 20% of a charge can take twice as long as the first half of the charge. All right, so we're at 224 miles of range and we spent 31 bucks so far. And basically the charge curve has tapered off. So I think I'm gonna stop charging. And it unlocked the plug. I think you can just hit the button on the thing as well. Oh, see, I probably re-engaged it. Huh. There we go. And you stick it back in there. And then the door closed by itself. And we are done. I think I'm gonna get probably a room at whatever that hotel is over there. And then we will continue our trip in the morning. All right, it's the next morning and I had a nice day at the Best Western. So, Sentry mode, all these Teslas have what's called Sentry mode, which is the security system for the camera. So you can see recorded events where the AI computer is assessing to see what happened when you were away, and it only records suspicious activity, which usually means a human walking around your vehicle. So that one seems to be okay. So you can delete that one. So what I want to do is update the trip. So I'm going to say we'll end this trip to the Anaheim Convention Center, and we actually want to go to the hotel. I'll put it in park so we can see our options. Oh, and it calculated. So you click on the map over here, Capri Suites Anaheim. That seems right. And let's do it. Oh, so it's already got it loaded because it only discovered that one destination, and we're gonna have to charge at Bakersfield, California. So we're gonna get there at, so I'm gonna hit the brake. And again, since the Cybertruck's full self-driving doesn't have reverse, I need to reverse out of the parking spot. But once I do that, I can re-engage the full self-driving by clicking this button, and we're off. Sometimes it wants you to give a little tap of the accelerator just to confirm that you want to do full self-driving, and then it'll figure out how to get out of here. Making sure that it won't hit the curb or the funny change in elevation. And it sees the guy with the dog over there. Oh, look at that, another Cybertruck. I wonder if he'll give me the finger. I might actually take some pictures out here, so I'm going to disengage the autopilot, and then I can take over. Do some off-roading. This is what most of the Central Valley of California looks like. It's just kind of barren grassland, desert land. And, so this is what we were driving through for most of last night. So we're going to be going to Los Angeles. So we're going south, due south. And there's not much to see out here. But once we get into the city, I'll probably do some more recording of navigation of streets and things. But for now, kind of nice just to be out here in the great expanse, as you will. All right, so you have to hit, basically to start full self-driving, you have to hit the brake pedal once, I think per NHTSA regulation, and then at the end you have to hit some control of the vehicle to get out of full self-driving. We're actually not on a road, and there's a curb that I drove over onto a farmer's access road. So let's see what happens if I just hit the, whoop, wrong one. Okay, the steering wheel is upside down. So I'm gonna start full self-driving off-road here and see what happens here. And then I'll hit the accelerator to initiate it. And it's trying to figure out, okay, there's grass and dirt and a berm, and I'm not on a road. But it did say, okay, here's a dirt patch, so I'm going to drive on the dirt patch and not on the grass. And it's going to check the road conditions. A little rough to get over the curb. It's interesting how it's taking us this direction. It actually figured out there's a faster route to get to the highway than what I just took to get out into the country. Whoop. I guess that was kind of rough. It's probably going to complain at me. Okay. So yeah, it's diverting us a little bit through a country road, which is kind of cool. It's seeing this work equipment up here, so it's going to merge over to get out of the way of it. Because it saw that there's no oncoming traffic. There is a truck up there, but it's several hundred yards away. And then it merged back in, so that's cool. So it may have not liked the fact that it was going to turn left, like off of basically off-road conditions onto a road. So it opted to do a right-hand turn, and we're gonna do a little detour here, which is kind of cool. We're out in the country of sorts. Oh, it probably goes without saying that the Cybertruck is all-wheel drive, where each wheel is basically got a, well, each back wheel has a dedicated motor, and then the front two wheels has a third motor. And traction control is done by the computer and the basically massive stepper or servo motors that drive the three wheels. So it never really breaks friction with the ground, because it responds so quickly to friction and torque that it just keeps everything optimized. I wonder if Highway 5 has a lot of traffic this morning, so it decided to do a side route instead. I guess we'll never know. All right, we're coming up on our next charging stop. This will be in Bakersfield. And I think it's pretty much going to be just a top-off charge. Got some smoke over there. It's probably dust. We have 128 miles, but I guess the truck calculates charge time versus distance traveled, and it optimizes time just like it optimizes traffic patterns. So we'll just follow what the Cybertruck suggests for charging. It's probably just going to be like another 10 minutes of charging. It's usually about $50 for me to drive from San Jose to Los Angeles, and electricity. You know, but Tesla's got to make money on their charging, so they charge about 40 cents a kilowatt, where the power at my house is more like 17 to 18 cents per kilowatt. So it's better to get all charged up at your inexpensive house power and minimize buying electricity, basically. This is the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration full stop. All right, and like before, I need to disengage and then pick a spot and then tell it to park, because reverse is not turned on in the Cybertruck yet. So you have to get out of full self-driving and then get into auto park. And it'll do it itself. You should keep your foot on the brake just in case. And it'll bring it pretty close, because the Cybertruck charge port is kind of far away from the station. Okay, and now we will charge. Well, like how close the Cybertruck parked to the charger. That's 10 inches, but it worked it out. Pretty much good cable span. And the lines are good too. I'm gonna disconnect and we're gonna hit the road. It's a little easier this time. Oh, and the cables are hot too. This is hot to the touch. They have active water or glycol cooling in these cables to get the high power transmission. All right, the door closed itself, so we are ready to go. Oh, I didn't see what the charge. I think I spent $10. Sorry, I didn't show you guys the charge status, and it's too fussy to go and find it. Charging. Oh, okay. Last charge was 21 bucks. I gotta fly in here. And we got 242 miles, which is like 80% charge, so that's good. So to drive to LA, it costs $50 to drive about 550 miles to Anaheim. So that's not too bad. All right, let's get out of here. Okay, 241 miles added. So let's get out of here. I'll tap the brake to get things going and turn on full self-driving, and we're out. Man, there's flies. Gotta get these flies out of here. So we're coming up on the Grapevine, which is basically a big hill that is the beginning of the LA basin, or the outside edge of the mountain range that is the LA basin. And it's called Grapevine because there's a bunch of grapevines that are growing at the base of it. And it's kind of a grueling hill for like a gas vehicle, but the electric vehicle, I mean, doesn't really notice. I mean, it just kind of just goes. Anyway, so this is the Grapevine that we're entering into for dropping into the LA basin. I'll probably time lapse this. You can see the power consumption. There's a little bar on the display here, which kind of tells you how much juice it's using. Either for regenerative braking, and it turns green, or white for consumption of power. All right, we're getting off the highway and approaching our hotel. The driving mode is set to hurry, but I can override the speed if I don't like what I'm seeing. It's slowing down. Interesting. Oh, it's taking me on a one-way. Oh, this may be an intervention. I think it cheated a little bit. All right, well, that was one error. Well, this is a strange light. Well, it did cheat a little bit, and it went in the one way of a residential, basically driveway, to skirt the light. I don't know if that was, it was maybe technically a traffic violation, but it was also a private property road, so it's hard to say. Maybe I should take it out of hurry mode, put it back to standard. The thing is the computer will find the most efficient path to your destination, and sometimes it can get a little creative with its license, pun intended, to come up with interesting solutions to ultra efficient destination timing. And even here, it's kind of taking us through kind of backwater residential roads because it's slightly faster than taking the main expressway here, Harbor Boulevard. But we're about half a block away from the hotel. And here's the Capri. Oh no, that's the carriage. Oh, Capri Suites. So it notices the people on the sidewalk. It'll wait for this guy to pass. There's some other guy, but he's not close enough. And here we are. There's assigned parking, I'm sure. So I disengaged the full self-driving, and I'm just going to park in spot 13. Tight parking, of course, in California. All right, we made it. So that was full self-driving from San Jose, California to Los Angeles, California, in the town of Anaheim. So I'm going to go to the manufacturing conference now. Hope you enjoyed the presentation, and thanks for watching Dragonfly Engineering. Please like and subscribe. See you guys later.